Good evening, everybody. I want to start off by playing this tape here, and that's it's going to explain a lot of what we're going to look at tonight.
Minutes ago that authorities have found the body of a missing pregnant woman.
It's been 30 days since Kassanndra Cantrell disappeared, and right now police are back at the home of her ex-boyfriend. KOMO's Tammy Mutasa is at the scene in Pierce County tonight.
Tammy, can you explain what's happening out there right now for us, please?
Eric and Mary, this is just a really sad and unfortunate ending on so many different levels. Investigators just told us they arrested Kassanndra Cantrell's ex-boyfriend at his home right here behind me. SWAT team was here just a short time ago and they left, and that they have found and recovered her body. Now, I want to show you this video. We were here as investigators swarmed the house you see right here behind me, and this is where Kassanndra Cantrell's ex-boyfriend lived. Now, the 33-year-old had been missing since August 25th. Her family told us she was pregnant at the time, and her mom told me she was supposed to go for her first ultrasound, but she never showed up. Now, Kassandra's car was later found ditched in downtown Tacoma, and investigators just told us that her ex-boyfriend was seen on video removing that car, which is what made them suspicious in this case, because he was seen moving her car. Now, her cell phone was last pinged on Vashon Island, and she had been silent on social media ever since, and her family told me that was really strange. Now, a few weeks ago, on September 1st, investigators, with the help of the FBI, served a search warrant at this home, at her ex-boyfriend's home here on South K Street, and investigators say he lived here with his ex-girlfriend, with his current girlfriend, I'm sorry. Now, she was also detained today, and we saw her going back into the house. Now, investigators called this a homicide from the beginning, and at the time, nobody was arrested, but today, we were here as investigators took her ex-boyfriend into custody after 30 days of them searching for answers. Unfortunately, a terrible ending, not what they wanted, but now they have answers as to what happened. Back to you guys.
Tammy, thank you.
Well, that's sad news. I could not put on the thumbnail found body because body is a word that YouTube will give me a strike on for whatever reason. So they don't want you to put that on there. I want to play one more newscast, and this is going to explain a little bit more.
Unfortunately, we didn't want it to end this way, and we have recovered her body. It's about 100 yards down a cliff, and we're going to take some work to get her out. And it all came together this afternoon when we were analyzing some search warrants, and we got some evidence back, and a couple of our detectives came out here, went down the cliff, and unfortunately found her. We'll have a lot of work to do, and we just want to let everybody know that we've recovered her. Unfortunately, she's deceased. We've been working this as a homicide, and the reason being is we obtained video of him dropping off her car. At the very beginning, we knew that wasn't a good sign, and we were able to get enough information to come here with our special weapons and tactics team and get him into custody without anybody getting hurt and no further incidents. We're happy that there's resolution for the family, but sad at the outcome.
Well, that was a sad outcome. You think she was pregnant and probably confronted her ex-boyfriend about that, and we don't know the circumstances of her death, but it was a very sad outcome of it. And I wanted to bring y'all kind of up to speed on this. He either threw her down this cliff or took her down the cliff. I actually have one more video that shows them working in the area that of the body recovery. It's not showing the body. She's covered in a white sheet, but it apparently is at the bottom of and I don't know if it's like a sudden cliff or maybe a rolling, you know, like it falls off. It's not what I would think would be a hard, just like jumping off a rock. I don't think so. Although they said they had a pretty tough time getting the body out. This is the written statement on it. 37-year-old boyfriend. I did find out the boyfriend's name. He is, let me see, somebody quoted it on a different website, and I thought I had copied it here. No, I didn't. But anyway, he's been booked into the jail on murder. Now, I don't know that. I'm sure that once the autopsy's done on the body, that they find out for sure that she was pregnant, that he would be charged with murder of the baby also. And if it's twins, he will be charged in a double homicide. So he's facing as many as 3 homicides for her death. Now, I understand he's never been arrested before, according to the news report, the one that I read. So it's a sad note. We don't know what transpired that led to the murder, but I'm sure it will come out. And if y'all want to follow that case, it'd be one to kind of keep up with. I want to show you one spot. You can see the spot down the hill, and I won't play much of this. This thing was it drug on for about 25 minutes like that. But I believe it was Washington that it was in. Oregon? Okay, it was in Oregon. Washington, Tacoma, Washington, where she was recovered from. That's what they said. So I'm guessing that is correct. The news here, and let me go back. I thought one of them told, but Tacoma, Washington, I'm pretty sure it is. But regardless, it was a sad ending to this one that we had covered the other night of the disappearance. She was last seen basically living in the house on a Ring camera. That's what I read. So she had early on when they recovered her car, they recovered video of her in the neighborhood around the Dome downtown, and they saw him on camera moving the car. So that pretty much put him at forefront of the investigation. And I would think that he probably told them where the body was or they got his GPS off his truck or possibly his phone. That would lead them in the area, and then they found it that way. But it's a very sad situation when the fact that she was pregnant, and it's just, I find it very sad anyway. There's not much other information on this. Why not first degree? He was charged with first degree murder, and if I could get out of this particular thing that I'm in now without shutting everything down, I could upload that, and I apologize that it didn't have it on there, but I thought that I uploaded it. I thought I had the actual where he was arrested uploaded. Do what? She had a twin brother. She had a twin brother. But regardless, the family, they have got to be completely distraught after this. And this guy has ruined that family's life, and he's ruined his own life. I don't know how the judicial system is up there, but I'm pretty sure he'll have no bond. Had no bond on the arrest. And like I said, I thought for sure that I had that in here. There may be a way for me to download the arrest here. If I can, I'll see if I can't do that here. Try it real quick. Do you see that thing coming down? Okay, let me try to go over here on my paper and get it. It is a bad situation, and don't see me going through my files here on there, I guess. Okay.
Kassandra was from Parkland, Washington, just south of Tacoma.
Okay. And Tacoma, so Tacoma is in Washington, and she's in Parkland, Washington. Okay. I'm trying to look for it, people. Just hold on one second here. That's the problem. I got so much junk on my computer and on my desktop. Nah, for some reason. Hold on a minute.
Denise said she saw something about the girlfriend possible involvement too, but it could just be speculation.
Yeah, the girlfriend was taken into custody, but I don't think that she was charged with anything right now. At least it didn't see. Here it is. Okay. It'd take a second to download. But I didn't know her name, so I couldn't search the jail records for her in Pierce County. This is his name, Colin Patrick Dudley, and I got the name from another YouTuber site. He's charged with murder one, and that it says no bail. So I don't know exactly what. See, different states have different degrees of murder. You know, you can have premeditated murder, you can have murder with passion, you can have murder or second degree. In Alabama, we have murder, second degree murder, and manslaughter, and then a misdemeanor of criminal negligent homicide. And believe it or not, it is a misdemeanor. But that would be like if you maybe you were, I can't think of something real easy to think about, but just say you are maybe drinking and you have a boat accident because you are drinking, and maybe it was the other guy's fault. It doesn't matter, but they would charge you the fact that you were criminally negligent, but it wasn't actually your fault. Maybe the other guy ran over your boat or something. They charge you with criminal negligent homicide, which is a misdemeanor. Carries up to 1 year in jail. Yeah, we think about that. He kills his ex-girlfriend because she's pregnant, and throws her down a cliff. He doesn't even, I don't understand that unless she, maybe we don't know what happened. There's no excuse anyway, but I just can't imagine why he would do something like that. Tell me what you're saying.
Look at Rowan to you. Video showing him driving.
Video showing him driving her car, right, dropping it off on the Tacoma Dome, shows him leaving his truck. Yeah, that's what I heard. The investigators said that there is a video like that. The reason why Dina's whispering over here, we had a few comments that she was distracting. So she is trying not to be distracting. But
I'm still here. It's just that there was some complaints that I interrupted him and he couldn't finish his thought. So I'm trying to be nice and not interrupt my husband.
Okay. Well, I hate that we had to bring you that news tonight. It was very depressing. I discovered it about 1:30 in the morning. Actually, I was just getting ready to go to bed, and I turned on the computer enough to check my email and check the stories that we had covered, and then I discovered that, and I was saddened. I wanted to wake my wife up, but I thought better of it, and I was saddened the fact that they did find her dead, and I could not put that on there on the thumbnail because like I said, YouTube will give me a strike on it if I use a word that is not considered in their safe words. They got a whole list of stuff that they basically demonetize your video. Basically, what they do, you don't, a few pennies or whatever dollars you earn from it, they'll take it away. I wanted to touch on one other thing and tell that I had 2 Patreons that signed up for our Patreon page, and this is it. And like I said, I'm not out begging for money, but this is our Patreon page. They have committed to commit $5 each a month to help us out, and we do appreciate it. And we hope later on, I hope to list all the Patreons towards the end of my videos, but really do appreciate it. We're not asking you to do it. We realize right now is a financially strapped time for everybody. We hope to do another super chat for Friday. If you want it, if you don't, that's fine too. I do want to remind everybody this gentleman is still missing. He's in Columbus, Georgia. I did see an online post about him today saying that they asked, could he be a little darker skin? And they said they saw someone that looked a lot like this guy. He's 5'11", 100 pounds. He's very, very thin. Walking on one of the interstate under an overpass, and he said he looked like he was out of it. But that is in near the Columbus area. But Columbus, I've looked at Columbus, and they've got a lot of runaways. And apparently, this gentleman maybe is a runaway. I didn't find anything that would give any information that he was not a runaway. I don't know. But we do want to put that out there that he is still out. Another thing I wanted to touch on, I got this case out of Kentucky. There's hardly no information on it. And I wanted to touch on it and just put it out there anyway and let y'all look at it. This is the poster of it. This is a 16-year-old Jaimee Sanford. She has been missing from Kent County, Kentucky. She's a female, Caucasian, 5'7", 38 pounds. I think that's what it says. Black, half red hair, a little longer than shoulder length, blue eyes, but thin and athletic. Now, she was last seen Tuesday, September the 15th, 2:30, when she had no cell. She apparently left. She didn't have her cell phone. She had her school-issued Chromebook with her, possibly blue or black backpack, and a duffel bag, wearing a black sweatshirt, jeans, and black shoes. I went to her Facebook page for the missing for her and asked there if she was a runaway or not. And the girl on there said, I cannot release that information without talking to her mother. So I don't know. Maybe she was, or maybe she's not. But if y'all know, if you live in that area, you might keep your eyes out for her. I want to play a little tape I saw today that was pretty shocking to me. I've gotten a few emails about missing persons in Ohio, and I looked at them. I went through their list of all their missing persons today, and I bet you over 99% of the children were runaways, either from youth homes or just runaways. So, you don't know what's going on with that, but we are approaching winter. And let me play this.
It is a chance to shine a light on the hundreds of children listed as missing here in Ohio.
Dan DeRose is in the Alert Center with the state-run website to track all of those cases. Dan.
And in fact, the Ohio Attorney General's office has been very active in the investigation in Port Clinton, but that's not all that Dave Yost and the Attorney General's office does. They have an entire website dedicated to missing adults and missing children, and it is sad when you start to scroll through, and these are the recent cases, the 550, the more more than 550 listed missing children in the state of Ohio, and you don't have to go far up the list to find one out of Northeast Ohio. This is from just January 11th, endangered runaway. They have to fit into a number of classifications. Is it an abduction? Is it an abduction by a family member? Is it an endangered runaway? That's the case here for Dominique Harris, last seen January 11th, age 17. But it's more than that. Some of these cases are old cases and ones that you have heard about. For example, the Ashley Summers case, missing since 2007. She would currently be 26 years old. Now, she has aged out of that 550 number, and she is now listed in the 740 adults that are missing in the state of Ohio. All of this is accessible to the public. You can find my story and find these websites. Open up the app, go to cleveland19.com, maybe look through some of these and possibly identify or help locate some of these missing and endangered runaway children, because they all deserve to be found and reunited with family. In the Alert Center, Dan DeRose, 19 News.
Well, you'd think he says 750 adults and 550 something children. So that's 1,300 people missing in Ohio. And I know every state has a lot of missing, but I went to Alabama and I don't think there's hardly like 50 maybe or something, or 100 maybe, but it's not huge.
The foster care is one of the areas where the sex traffickers are hitting, because there are so many in foster care, and that is one of the things that the marshals were talking about, is that a lot of the children are from foster care, and they're either not reported missing by their foster parents or what, but it's nationwide. I was looking at Virginia today, and remember I hollered out and told you that on just one page there was like 9 teenagers missing in the past week in Virginia.
Yeah, we're actually going to look at a lot of these states to see if there's some type of organized situation. I don't know if you remember, but years ago, and I think it's probably still going on. Do you remember when they used to have these magazine salesmen? Kids would come to your house and they'd try to sell you a magazine, and they would, I remember it even now. I remember even years ago. I'm talking about when I was a little kid, maybe 30, 40, 50 years ago even, that magazine salesmen would come, and it'd be kids. Well, they're still doing this. I remember when I was in law enforcement that we would stop them because people would call and say, they're soliciting all this stuff. They're almost high pressure, and these kids look like they're hungry, and I don't know what can I do to help them? But that is a way for them. They put these kids in a servitude position where they have to eat, feed them. They have that, maybe they're runaways, maybe they owe them money for the week. So it's almost a servitude position. And human trafficking, I worked a lot of human trafficking cases in my last assignment, my last 5 or 6 years. And basically we got caught with a lot of work in these cases because it doesn't really fall under any type of other crime. It might be a white collar crime, but what they would do is they would put these ads in magazines, and these kids would come from Russia and Jamaica and in China and Thailand and all these other places, Korea, and they would come over here into our Gulf Coast region of Florida, and they would think, I can get this. Their pictures, I saw the book. It had looked like an island with a palm tree hanging over the Gulf. It's looked like something out of Fiji. And they would put these people to work in this. And we talked about this once before, but I'm going to cover it again in case somebody did not hear it. They put these people into work in all these souvenir shops and hotels as cleaners, and restaurants as waitresses, and say they got paid $8-10 an hour, then they would take $2 an hour of every one of them. And I know one case we investigated, they had 450 people working for them. So that's $2 an hour they were getting. That's $900 an hour that this company was getting. And that's not all the way they did it. They put them in apartments, 15 of them into an apartment. They had bunk beds in every room. They charged them $400 a month to live in that apartment with 15 of them. And then, but the thing where they got to be illegal is when they took their passports. They took their passports, and basically that was a way for them to control them. We had 2 girls come to our office. We had called the State Department. They sent a couple of people down. They said they were working in a Florida city on the Gulf Coast, and these guys came in. They took their passports and said, "Get ready, we leave in an hour." They said, "Where are we going?" They said, "You'll find out." And then they took them about 400 miles up the coast of Florida, and then they put them to work in a place, and they wouldn't really let them have their passports. And if these people complained, then they would often threaten their families, especially in Russia and some of those other places, you know. And also that we had high-end prostitution, where these people, some of the females are very, very attractive, and they would put them in high-end prostitution, you know, $1,000 for the night. So it's a way of human trafficking. It's not just taking runaways off the street. It's abusing the foreign worker system that we have pulled into this country. Sex trafficking, human trafficking, big, dirty, secret niche film. Yeah, I agree. It is a big, and I saw where it was last year in Birmingham, Alabama. They said that Birmingham, Alabama is one of the biggest sex trafficking, human trafficking hubs in the Southeast, because you've got I-65 runs through there. You got I-59 that runs through there. You got I-75. You got all these interstates running through there, and that the interstate system is how they traffic these females. They'll work the truck stops. They'll work events like concerts, these big towns. They'll work festivals. They'll work the prostitution. They'll work drugs. They'll work all that stuff.
What's the name of the guy? Oh, never mind.
But, there's one other thing, too. I wanted to cover another case. I know we are buzzing along today. It's taking a lot less time than I thought it would for these other stuff. But I did not find much about this case. I did want to bring it up since I was pretty upset and saddened by the murder of that pregnant girl. I mean, that's just, man, when I see that kind of stuff, it just totally breaks my heart for the family. And you think about the child that was killed, or possibly 2 children that were killed that way. And we don't know yet how she was killed, but her body was just tossed down on the side of the road down a cliff like she was trash. That's what it was to him. I hope he gets the death penalty, if they got the death penalty up there. I don't even know if they do. This is Erin Gilbert. She went missing in 1995, attending a Guildwood Forest Fair. Her family is trying to resurrect her missing case. Apparently, it has gone cold, and I've tried to find as much information as possible. She's 5'11", 24 years old at the time, brown hair, hazel eyes. She was a nanny, had plans of starting beauty school in the coming days. Erin was last seen on July 1st, 1995 at 4 p.m. at her home that she shared with her sisters, Stephanie, I don't know how you pronounce that. I guess it's Hazar, brother, Stephanie's brother-in-law and nephews on a joint base, Eldador Richardson. It's in Alaska. She was last seen with David Cobbs. The pair drove along, and it says winding something. I can't pronounce these words. Turn again arm towards the Guildwood Forest Fair. Apparently, maybe I don't know, it may have been one of these, sounds like one of these fairs where they dress up and stuff and spend the night. About an hour away, early the following morning at 7 a.m., David Combs calls Erin's family to see if she made it back home safely. Right then, the family knew something was terribly wrong. Combs stated that the last time he saw Erin was around 6 p.m. when he discovered that his car had a dead battery, thanks to leaving the headlights on. Combs stated that he looked for Erin, but until about 1 a.m., he assumed that she just got mad at him. Erin is one of 1,520 people currently missing from Alaska. That is amazing. And it gives the number of the troopers and everything where to find them. And, here's what you got to think about that with Alaska. When I hear about somebody missing from Alaska, I automatically think, well, they wandered out in the woods and they got eaten by a bear, or they got lost and, they succumbed to hypothermia, or maybe that they had some type of accident and they got injured and died because they couldn't find help. But we don't know if she was picked up, given a ride by somebody else that did her ill will, that took her, that killed her, or we don't know. There's no other information. I mean, I don't know if the police actually polygraphed or investigated this guy. There's very little information that I found on it. I tried to look up several today to try to have some cases on. I looked up a little black girl in Cleveland, and there was hardly anything on her disappearance. I mean, it was hardly anything. But I am still going to follow up on that particular case. But you talking about disappearing out of thin air. This is what this girl did. And, everybody, and I'm sure that y'all feel this way, but we all look for, the guy she was last with. I mean, that would be the obvious thing. Did they have a fight? Did they, did he finally, was his car battery really dead? I'm sure they went up there and tried to locate people involved in this fair, but it's crazy. You say Washington abolished the death penalty in 2018. Well, he'll just get life without parole if he's convicted, maybe, hopefully. Does anybody have any questions about anything? I know you said Alaska's so vast. Yes, we want to both visit Alaska, hopefully in the next year or two. Maybe this.
What is the Alaskan highway that we saw on one of those shows where all these girls have come up missing?
There's actually a thing called the Alaskan Triangle, and it's weird. It's a bunch of women have actually gone missing in this section of highways. 3 highways, I think, where they join together. But I've done some research. Also, there was a girl that I was reading about today, and it's because, and I want to say this again, I don't want to cover and murder crime scenes. If we have one that we went missing and her body's discovered, I do not want to cover those sort of things. Highway of Tears. You're exactly right. There is a lot of good information, and we may pursue some of those up there. But I do want to pursue a lot of the indigent.
Rowan just said a missing 20-year-old Martina Lopez was rescued by Texas EquuSearch from sex trafficking ring 2 days ago. She's mentally challenged, and they said sex traffickers were targeting them.
Wow, that is awesome.
It's awesome that she was found.
Awesome.
Why Highway of Tears? Because
Highway of Tears is known to have a massive amount of women taken on that highway, and I don't think they found many of them.
They thought it was a truck driver.
They thought it was a truck driver for a long time because they do trucks run between Alaska and Canada, but they're not sure what it is. And after seeing, you remember the 2 guys last year that went out and killed a couple of people, and they were young kids. I say young kids, they were probably in their 20s. And they did it. The thrill of the kill is what they said they did it for.
You know,
They ended up killing themselves.
Bitson spent some time in Alaska with her dad in the military.
Awesome.
Donna.
Yeah. We will look into that, and also want to look into the massive amount of deaths of young Indian women out west. That is a whole different program that we will look at, and we may feature maybe 10 or 15 of them on the same thing. There's very little information, but they just vanished off the face of the earth. One I looked into today, and I was going to cover it till I found out that her body was discovered in the area. Their van broke down near rest area. She took off walking, and she disappeared. But later searchers found her body. She died of hypothermia. So obviously it was a cold wherever they were. I think they were in South Dakota. But so there are a lot of areas of this country that seem to be more prone for women and women of color or Alaskan to go missing from, and I know that there was a YouTuber that did some RVing up there, and she was by herself, and she was near that area, and she said up in that area that there are signs all over the place warning women not take ride from strangers, to be careful if you're by yourself, to it's very well known. But you got to understand, this area is so desolate. And I'll tell you about Alaskan law enforcement. And no, I had not found any information on Leah Cabot. I went and looked again, and there's no current information that I know of. But I had a friend that was an Alaskan state trooper. And one night I was talking to him on Facebook Messenger, and he said, whoops, got a call. It's a domestic. And he said, I'm the only one in this area, and my area is as big as the state of Tennessee. And I said, how are you going to do that? He said, oh, we'll fly out tomorrow and make sure everybody's all right. That's not, it's just, that's the way it is up there. Unless you're near a major city like Fairbanks, or even a bigger city, Anchorage. Fairbanks is bigger than Anchorage, but the two bigger cities, then you may be 400 miles away from the nearest call. So what they will do, he was a pilot. He said, I'll fly out first thing in the morning, go up there and see what was going on, But it is crazy up there. I think you say Canada's Highway of Tears, Alaska. I think Alaska is where that all of the women that I was talking about, I'm sure, Virginia, you got that highway, you got the Alcan, that if you start driving in the American border, the Northern American border, and you don't stop and you just take your time, but do the speed limit, and every single night, stay a night and go up, it takes you about 11 days to do it. If you,
it's not Alaska. I'm sorry, it's British Columbia.
Okay, they're saying it's Canada.
Yeah,
she said it's Canada.
British Columbia.
British Columbia. But it'll take you 11 days if you take your time. But I know somebody who was a youth minister that he headed up that way, and I think he's told me he did it in 4 days. But that is moving on. That's not letting the grass grow under your feet.
They said a special unit formed by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police officially linked 18 such cases from 1969 to 2006 to this part of the highway and 2 connecting arteries. Most women have vanished since then, and more women have vanished since then, and the community activists and relatives of all the missing say they believe the total is closer to 50.
Wow. Well, I know in Alaska, too, this girl was saying that there are signs in Alaska that say, don't ride with strangers, don't do anything. Yeah, Highway of Tears, yes, that's a sign she showed me. Girls don't hitchhike.
Kill her on the loose.
Kill her on the loose, it says. So they're aware, and it sounds like to me it probably is somebody that's a transient through there. He might have a cabin near there. that he uses as a home base and does his deeds. But
They
you know,
had a guy named Cody Legerbach, whatever, however you say it, a Canadian serial killer convicted in 2014 by the Supreme Court of British Columbia of murdering 3 women and 1 teenage girl between 2009 and 2010.
okay, I just posted what Debbie, is it Schneider?
Schneider.
I apologize. My southern accent and my lack of pronunciation is going to cost me someday. But anyway, thank you for that information. Yeah, I did not follow it up. I just know that that's something probably needs to be addressed. And I heard there are numbers. It's crazy. That's right. I heard there was a number like 50. FBI, I think, says there's 50 active serial killers in the United States at any one time. And, you know, we've had them everything from Ted Bundy to the Golden State Killer to
Who's the one that
Zodiac. They never have found. And
the one that killed an 8?
Oh, that was Dahmer. He's dead. They killed him in prison. And the girl that was killing men down in Florida, I think they did a Netflix a show about her. And so you never can tell. You know, just got to be careful these days. What do you know the name of this? Watched that 1070s documentary on the serial killer it was on Netflix. Is that the name of it? 1070s? I don't know. I guess it's just because of what work I did all those years, but I enjoy watching those type of shows. My wife does not.
I do some.
But, you know, let's see. Don't be alone with them. Have an issue that aren't worth dating. You dodge the bullet and move on to someone better. That's right. You know. I think that wait, what did you say? Where are you from? I'm Southern accent too. I was born in Alabama and now live in Mississippi. I was born in Alabama, lived here pretty much our whole life. We lived a short stint in Tennessee, but we were just north of the Alabama border.
I lived in Korea for 2.5 years.
My wife lived in Korea for 2.5 years, but she was small. She didn't get any accent over there.
But I did get a baby from there.
Mississippi, yes. I was in fact, we were up in Wisconsin a couple years back, and I got stopped at a convenience store to get a Coke or something, and I asked somebody, how y'all doing? And they just kind of stared and looked at me, and the girl said, where are you from? And I said, where do you think I'm from? And she said, Kentucky. I said, well, further south. And she just guessed about, she first said Louisiana. And I said, man, I don't talk Cajun. You couldn't understand me. So I was from Louisiana, because I can't hardly understand somebody from truly Louisiana. Never been alone for a personal issues, demands, and time that dump. Yeah, I tell you, I don't know how women do it nowadays as far as dating goes, especially if they meet somebody online. But we actually have two girls that are real good friends with my daughter that met guys online. They actually met them on Christian Mingle and married them. And they're great. They've been together, like one, I think, about 15 years, and the other one for probably about 10 or 12 years. And so, you know, it's not, I guess, but I'm like you. I think what they need to be very cautious about meeting somebody online. You know, date them with somebody else, double date, or go somewhere there's a lot of people around. But yes, I saw that, True Detective. That was a very good show. And the one show I do recommend watching too is on Netflix is Mindhunter, or The Mindhunters. it's about this the psychology unit of the FBI, how they got that unit together. It's not a documentary. It's actually a drama, and they focus it on those cases.
I read one today that I was going to tell you about. The girl that was still in her prom dress, and the guy got her out of the car, put a gun to her boyfriend's head and told him that he'd kill him, and somebody knocked the boyfriend out. But anyway, they found her like 3 or 4 days later, and the genetic detective is the one that solved the case. It's been like since, I think it was like 1957 it happened, something like that.
Wow.
And 40 years later,
yeah, if you haven't watched that show, and I think it's on ID channel, it may be on A&E. It's Genetic Detective. It's a great show. She takes DNA that can, maybe they ran, just like they helped solve the Golden State Killer. His DNA wasn't in any databases, law enforcement databases, but he took the DNA and went to I think she got most of her leads on GenMatch, other people, and she followed down to 3 brothers. And then they just basically followed these people until they could get DNA from them. Like, I think they got one DNA swab off the guy's truck handle where he opened his truck, and they went in there and scrubbed the underneath his truck with a Q-tip and got some DNA like that. Yes. Tasers can work. What are we talking about?
About men keeping them in line. Tasers do work, especially if you walk up behind your husband and just shoot one off in his ear.
Yeah, kind of. If you ever been shot with one, you remember it. So
the sound.
The sound.
I
is,
didn't
is
shoot
pretty.
you.
She didn't shoot me, but she put it behind my ear when I was sitting on the couch. Has anybody got any other questions tonight? I know we're closing out a little bit early, but I did want to. Now, somebody sent me an email, said that Profiling Evil was going to be on Thursday night. Is that true? They said they're on Monday nights, but I don't know what other nights they're on. I'm trying to not be in competition with a large channel, but if it has to be, it has to be. We are going to cover the Susan Morphew search and any type of developments that come up from that. But we are still going to cover other stuff too.
Search starts tomorrow.
Search starts tomorrow, I think, in the morning. He's got 500 people. I'm not sure what the weather is. He did come online, I think, with Lauren Sharp, and say that he believes she was murdered tonight. Andy did, and the brother of Susan. And then also that he believes she's within a 3.5 mile or 3.5 hour area. Now, he can't search with 500 people 3.5 hours away. There's just no way. I don't know, and I hope they find something, evidence or something, but I do not know that it's going to be productive, because she could be anywhere. That area is very mountainous. It's rocky. It's and they don't have any leads as far as I know.
Rowan says they're having live updates with Andy each night of the search starting tomorrow.
Okay, well, we're going to keep up with it. I'm going to keep up with it. And
Profiling Evil is on Mondays and Thursdays.
Okay, he's on Thursdays. What time on Thursdays? Does anybody know? And I know he's on Mountain Time, but I don't know what that figures into my time. I looked for it on his channel. I couldn't find it. I know he's got a new membership channel too that he is. got. I don't know about that. 7 Central. Wow. That's the way it goes. Well, we're going to butt heads with him on Thursday nights. There's just nothing I can do about it.
I thought you were doing Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yeah, that's right. I am. I'm not on Thursday night. I forgot what I'm on. Yeah, I'm only on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Oh, I thought, oh no,
Duh.
did I mess it up?
Oh yeah, that is right. So it won't interfere with him. Then good. It's funny. I came on their channel early on and said, enjoyed your channel, and they came back and they asked me. They sent me an email and said, because I mentioned something about law enforcement, and they asked me, tell me about yourself. We'd like to know who's on our channel. So I did. And I told them, I said, I'd be willing to do, help each other out. Never heard a thing. But that's all right. Well, that's not bad then. I would encourage you to please subscribe to our channel and click the like button if you enjoy it.
LA has GPS from Barry's truck.
You mean LE or LA?
It says LA.
You mean law enforcement, don't you? I knew they did.
Okay.
They have, he had GPS, and that was one of the things that they said that it didn't quite match what he said. I wish that we knew what it was, but that's one thing they're not going to tell us. But I hope they find her. No, they have not found her. PE is Profiling Evil. It's a channel it's a couple of retired homicide detectives. I'm not sure where they're out of. They've been on for a while, and they have got about 45,000 subscribers. And they do a membership on their channel, and they have other things that they do. I mean, I like to listen to them. They do a show on Monday called Choir Practice, and they do one on Thursday. We would ask you if you would, to subscribe and share our channel. My goal is to have 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I said that last time. I said my goal was to have 1,000 subscribers by the end of September, and within 3 days, I had 1,400. So, I know that it can be shared, and people do come and they enjoy it. So I hope that you will share the channel. We hope that our new schedule will work for you. If it doesn't, send us an email. Tell us, what you would rather us have. Right now, it's probably going to stay that way for a while. I'm working on my web page. I did work on it today. It's just taken me a lot longer than I thought, because I'm working at a GoDaddy site, and for whatever reason, I'm having some issues with it. But I'm fixing to get on the phone with them, see if they can work it out for me. What was that, Kathleen? I didn't understand that. Regarding tasers, but really, why not? Tasers are okay, but the kind of tasers they sell to the public, you have to be right up on somebody. And I guess if you could do it, if you got your hands on them, you're going to get a little bit of that too. That's the one reason why when police train with tasers, they make you get shot with one. It's for a couple things. One is to tell you, if somebody gets your taser, we were taught in school, taser school, if somebody takes your taser, then you better shoot them, because if they can, once they tase you, you do not have any recourse. You're done. You've been tased. It hurts. It hurts real bad. And I've been tased accidentally. We were wrestling with somebody, and they dry stunned him. They put the taser on him and stunned him. And it acts like a circuit sometimes. And we got shocked with the rest of them. So if you're in between the probes too, they'll shoot the probes out, and they might go out like that. If you're in between the probes, you're just as much as getting the thing as the next guy.
Lucretia says, go for the low parts.
Yeah, I agree. But
Okay, see, I told you, Hoppy Pumpkin Dance is having trouble finding the Facebook page. It is the TH is capital THE little case capital. I mean
It's
TH.
the missing is one word. Live stream is the next word. So it's a spot. But I'm going to probably take down that site and then make another one because I don't like the way everything's going, or try to change the name somehow where it goes to a business page and regular instead of a personal page. So that will solve that problem. I've been addressing it, but you can't really friend that page. It's almost going to have to be a group. And I think that's what I'm going to go to, is a group instead of a page, because I can't put a friend up there, because then, we don't know who is friending our page if we do that. And then if somebody is trying to get information about you, then that would cause problems for that person.
Okay.
And that's happened already on our page. That's why I had to take all the friends off of it.
Mystic Firefly says make it a social education page.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll try to do that. If I can, I'll try to do that tomorrow. It just depends how busy we are at our regular work.
She said, yep, mine is True Crime Campfire Chats, Susan Morphew as a group social learning.
Okay, well, great. Everybody go over and check her page out too. I have no problems with suggesting other people's pages. That is not a problem. I don't usually do that if I haven't gone and checked them out. But hey, go check them out. Put it out there. Go check them out. That's the weird thing with Facebook. You could have 50 million subscribers to your page, and they, as far as I know, they're not any type of monetization with there. I know they're working towards monetizing some videos, but not, and they won't even let. My current software has got a bug in it. It will not post to my Facebook page, so I don't know. And like I said, this channel is not all about money. That's why my Patreon page has got a maximum of $5. They won't let you give any more than $5. It's not about money, but it does help support the channel. But anyway, I do appreciate everybody being here tonight. We hope that we see you on Friday night. I will make sure that I have my days right. And
I'm sorry. Lori says, what kind of dates require tasers and alarms? I'm not one I want to go on.
It may not be the kind of date that you want to have. I'm not gonna say that. But I recommend that everybody take a self-defense class if they can. If nothing else, you'll learn a lot about what to expect if you do have to engage someone.
I would like to say, be aware of your surroundings.
Yes.
We have a story for the end of the show. We went to Wisconsin to visit our daughter and son-in-law in the cold after Christmas. And we went to a movie one night, and it was after Columbine. And there was the four of us sitting in a row. And as the movie started, a guy walks down, stands in front of the exit down at the back, and crosses his arms. And I looked at Tommy and I said, are you seeing this? And he said, give me your gun.
That's the thing. I'm a retired cop, and we always carry a gun. I know some of you may not believe in carrying guns, but
as a retired
cop, I am. That's one thing that the law is that I can, as long as I qualify every year, I am able to carry a gun anywhere in the United States.
This is several years ago after Columbine. And
this is right after I retired too.
And so then the guy leaves and walks away, and then he comes back in with another guy, and they both stand at the opposite exits. And then we realized that they were looking for people trying to film the movie. When we got into the car, first Tommy went and talked to the manager about it and told him they should be wearing a vest or something because that was kind of scary.
It was kind of,
it was unnerving.
It was unnerving, but this right after, and they had that movie shooting, and that's the movie shooting exactly how it happened.
Yeah.
The guy walked down towards him and then blocked the exit at the bottom, and he had a long coat on. He pulls out an AR-15 and starts shooting people. So I think be aware. But one thing I want to tell you too, and this is just a real easy thing for you to do to help protect yourself. That all of you, I'm sure, have got these little key fobs and that unlock your cars. Well, all of them have got an alert button on them. At least most of them do. When you walk out of the grocery store or Walmart or wherever you're coming from, hold that thing in your hand. You don't need the keys anyway, but hold that thing in your hand. And if you see somebody around your car that looks suspicious, I don't care if it causes a little bit of a stir. Hit that alarm button on your car. Your headlights will blink, and your horn will go bang, bang, and your headlights will blink back and forth like that. And it will not go off until you push that alarm button again. And that caused crooks, people that want to do you harm, do not like attention drawn to them. And do that. And I tell them, it doesn't matter if I'm 100 yards away or you're 100 yards away from your car and they're out there milling around your car. If you don't want to wait for them to leave by going back in the store, hit that alarm and just cause a little bit. If they're up to no good, they're going to leave. If they're not, they'll just stand there like, oh, well, the car alarm's going off.
Okay.
But
the rest of the story was that when we got in the car, I asked Mindy what did you think?
Mindy's our daughter.
Mindy's our daughter. What did you think about that guy? And she said, what guy? And I said, the guy
she never even noticed.
And her husband said, the guy standing by the exit. I was wondering how I was going to cover your body and keep from getting shot at the same time. She is unaware of her surroundings, and that does bother me as a mom. So,
use that key fob. I even tell people to put your key fob beside your bed at night, because if you hear somebody outside prowling around your car, hit your key fob. Let that thing go off. If you got animals near your trash can, hit your key fob. I had some lady tell me, well, I don't want to wake up my neighbors. I don't care. If there's somebody out prowling from my house, I want to wake my neighbors up,
I've
hit
been
the key fob.
on.
Yeah, I was working at a police department, a large police department. I was working midnight shift, and my wife actually was broken in on while I was at work. So I'll never forget, Sergeant came to me and said, get home. Your wife just had a guy break into your house. She's okay, but you need to get up there. So I ran code in my police car all the way home. I was probably about 12 miles away at the other end of the town. I was in a very large metropolitan area. So, I suggest that is just, if you don't have an alarm at your house, do that. Keep your key fob by your bed. It doesn't matter if you're married, you got a husband, you can hit that key fob and they don't like noise. That's all it amounts to. It's like a burglar alarm on a car now, and everybody says, well, I hear burglar alarm go off. I don't pay no attention to it. You don't a lot of times, but if you're walking up a dark parking lot at night, you're going to look. You may not go over there and try to help anybody, but you're going to look. And when you look, if you see a couple of guys running away, then that would tell you, hey, there's a problem. But that's just a very simple thing that I suggest to people, especially women, and it doesn't do, or even men. We can knock in the head just as good as y'all can. So,
Another thing is, if you are attacked, don't just holler help, because they look and think it's a domestic going on. So you holler fire and help and fire, and teach your children to yell. Teach your children that if they feel uncomfortable, that they can yell for help. This is not my mommy. This is not my daddy.
Yeah, we ingrain that into our kids, and especially my daughter, and it used to drive me absolutely crazy. My daughter was living in Dallas. She was working. She lived almost downtown, and she would call us almost every day on the way home from work. And I would cringe when she says, I'm getting out of the car, walking up the stairs to my apartment. And a couple of times she has failed. She's clumsy. she's fallen and the phone will go off. And then I'm like, oh my God, I'm 10 hours away. What do I do? I don't even know her she knew her address, but I didn't know where the parking garage is. It's just crazy. But anyway, listen, somebody mentioned wasp spray. That is considered a deadly weapon. Did you know that? Because wasp spray can actually kill you. It can. But so if you're going to spray somebody with wasp spray, make sure that it is a situation that you would use a gun for. I mean, honestly, it's weird. I've seen that people say that bear spray. They talk about they buy bear spray as soon as they go into Canada because you can't have a gun. And if you travel into Canada, you can carry a rifle or shotgun for protection from animals, but you cannot carry one to protection from people. And so if you carry something like that, can't carry a gun in Canada. Not a pistol anyway.
Kathleen says, what is wasp spray?
Wasp, like kill
if
wasps.
If you've ever been bit by a wasp, you know what it is.
Wasp and bees. It's spray. It sprays about 20 feet. But, I've heard that it is considered just like owning a gun. You own wasp spray. I mean, as far as it's deadly, it can be deadly. You want to be sure that the guy's not just, you got to be sure before you take some action, but you do want to be cautious and careful. But anyway, listen.
Yeah, Denise, you're right. The wasp can is huge.
Yeah, it is. Thank you for coming tonight. We will see you Friday. We are going to be, our moderators are going to be paying attention to hate speech within our stream. If we have bullying or hate speech or arguing, we're not going to, I'm sorry, but I'll put you in timeout or ban you from the stream. So
didn't have any
tonight. I appreciate it.
Mystic says, imagine a wasp riding on top of a mountain lion. That's what you spray at.
Yeah, that's right. But we just want everybody to have a good time here. We want everybody to share information. And if we're not out here to argue with each other. We're not out here to be decisive towards each other. That's not what it's all about. We want you to come and give us your opinion. And if we disagree with you, we'll disagree. We can disagree and be friends about it. But we just don't want, the other night we had some miscommunication. And I think, Denise, some things were brought up towards you. And I felt bad about it. And I don't want that to happen again.
It was Dana.
And what? Towards Dana?
Yeah, towards Dana.
Okay, but I don't want to have them again. And so we are going to try to be a little bit more vigilant on our streams. And I love every one of you. I just we don't need trolls and we don't need a lot of other stuff. But, and we're not going to have it. We are going to ban people that want to argue, and that's just the way it is. So we appreciate you coming to the stream. We appreciate you. Giving your opinions. They may not all agree with me or what we say, but we need to be respectful to each other. That's all we need to be. And
it's been a great night.
It's been a very good night. We appreciate everybody tonight coming.
Hey, from Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle. Great to see you here from Seattle.
I love your city.
We hope to see you back Friday at 7 o'clock. And we are going to cover a little bit of Susan Morphew case because the search is big and we want to keep up with that. And we will cover some other stuff too. And we welcome everybody here and we love you and good night. God bless. And we'll see you back Friday. And hello from Missouri. Yeah. What is that? Is Missouri Show Me State?
Yes.
Yeah, Show Me State. Yeah, beautiful state, especially in the fall. But anyway, we hope to see you back on Friday. God bless you. And I'm going to put my outro on.